Our lead this hour from baseball, we're going to Wisconsin. And that's southern Wisconsin, not northern Wisconsin. That's where the Packers play. This is in Milwaukee, where we used to have our friend from the Soul Kitchen used to call up and complain about the Brewers. Not anymore. But that is where the Dodgers opened up a road trip. Now, is this a preview of the postseason to come? The Doyers and the Brew Crew, as they are matching up this week. The news of the day, though, was the return of Mookie Betts back in the lineup. He's been gone for 2 months, but he's no longer a shortstop. Yeah, just like that. Presto! He is now back in right field. He'd bring the lumber in this game. I was watching the game, some of the game, and Betts hit a home run. His second at bat looked terrible the first at bat. Hit a home run, also had a ribby single that drove in Ohtani. Later on, 3 RBIs, had a stolen base in his return, filling up the box score. But that's not the story. That's not good talk radio. Good talk radio is the mouth of Mookie Betts. That's good talk radio. So if you didn't hear, perhaps not, Mookie Betts commenting on the positional move. Mookie Betts said, quote, "I don't care. I just want to win, bro." Sounds like Blake Snell. "I've preached the same thing from the very beginning, and I always will," said Mookie Betts. Now, some have pointed out that Mookie Betts did not have the tone. He did not have the delivery of someone that was celebrating his return to the outfield. So let us discuss thumbs up or thumbs down on Mookie Betts being unhappy with his relocation to right field for the Doyers. So I've got robotic, hot yoga, and Tony Award. And we will combine all of these things together, and we're going to buy some gasoline is what we're going to buy. So number one. That's right, number one. I'm going to go thumbs up on the question, not thumbs down. I'm going thumbs up. There was some angst. There was some, hey, I don't like this. Mookie Betts' preference was to play on the infield. He wanted to play second base. The only reason the Dodgers moved him to shortstop is because Gavin Lux couldn't throw from shortstop, and Mookie was like, I want to be on the infield, so they moved Gavin Lux to second base, and they put Mookie Betts at shortstop. He campaigned to be in the infield. He ended up getting the job, and then, as they say in football, fumble! And even before he got hurt. See, that's the thing. People say, well, he got demoted because he got hurt. He didn't get hurt, or he didn't get demoted because of the fact that he got hurt. This was not a Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady situation. Mookie Betts was, depending on what stat you look at, the worst defensive shortstop in the National League, the worst defensive shortstop in all of Major League Baseball, or somewhere in the bottom 2 or 3, under any measurable criteria. He sucked at a time you could not suck. And when as far as the answer is concerned, it's obviously was robotic. We don't have it, but it was a robotic answer. If you can find it on the internet, but it was boilerplate-like, machine-like would be the way I would describe it, trying to think of some other ways to say it. But Mookie Betts' bat clearly does not mind the move to the outfield. But this is a story to keep an eye on. And the rest of the year, you would assume Mookie's going to continue to play in the outfield. But he's signed forever. And when he goes back to bowling in the offseason in Nashville, is this something that pops up where Mookie's like, well, you didn't really replace me at shortstop. I want to go back to playing shortstop. And do the Dodgers genuflect to Mookie Betts and allow him to play shortstop? Something to follow up on. Now, the big story in baseball, not Mookie Betts' return, but Red Sox all-star hero, Jarren Duran. The punishment has come down. Now, we talked about this. I thought, I'll get suspended a couple of games. Or I said he's going to get fined. I didn't think he would get suspended, actually. But the Red Sox said, no, we're going to suspend him. So Jarren Duran suspended 2 games. This after the incident happened on Sunday with the cheating a-holes. During the 6th inning, the Red Sox were down 10 runs. There was no mercy rule. It was the finale at Fenway with all the vermin in town from Houston. And Jarren Duran was caught on a hot mic directing the homophobic slur to a heckling fan. This after the fan. You think of heckling. Did you hear what the fan said? The fan said, tennis racket, tennis racket. You need a tennis racket. pretty good line. Who knew that would trigger Duran? And he replied, shut up, followed by the F word, and then the other F word. You don't get fined for saying the F word, but the other F word you get suspended for. Yeah. Question, why? Why did the Red Sox suspend their All-Star Game MVP, Jarren Duran? So the obvious thing here is they're trying to save face. The Red Sox have positioned themselves as the wokest of the woke in Major League Baseball, and they figured a fine would not be enough. You can't do it. You've got to go further than that. The Red Sox pulled out the thermometer. They looked at everything they were involved in and the temperature in the room, and they said, this is hot yoga. This is like a hot yoga temperature here. And so they pivoted to a mitigation damage assessment situation. They determined that a suspension was proper in order to get some of those woke points back. Jarren Duran was the All-Star Game MVP. That's where he became someone we've heard of. We didn't really know who he was prior to that. But my favorite part of the story, by far my favorite part of the story, which is right up there when you talk about baseball's bloopers and practical jokes. So the Red Sox had honored Jarren Duran prior to the game on Sunday with what's called the Heart and Hustle Award. Sounds like they made it up, but they gave it to Jarren Duran. The award recognizes a player with a passion for the game who best embodies its values, spirits, and traditions. Who goofed? I've got to know. The jokes write themselves. Almost as good, not quite as good as when the Tampa Bay Rays had a giveaway for their franchise player to only kids under a certain age who then was arrested for stooping a kid. Anyway, all right, now, final point here. Following the announcement, Jarren Duran of the Red Sox was made available to reporters in the Sox clubhouse. He took a few questions. The money quote from Jarren Duran, he said, "I am sorry for my actions, and I'm going to work on being better." Close quote. So what did you take away? What did you take away from Jarren Duran's apology to the Boston fans through the media in Boston? So I watched this. It wasn't very long, so I could watch the whole thing. It was like being at a theater on Broadway. It was choreographed, and I was about ready to give a Tony Award to Jarren Duran for his delivery, except he wasn't very good at repeating the talking points memo from the PR staff there, the damage control people for the Red Sox, because he had his blinkers on. Now, what does that mean? Let me explain. Rapid blinking. Rapid blinking. The FBI handbook. This goes back many years. I use this all the time when we look at public statements of apology or whatnot. The statement that Jarren Duran made when talking to reporters, he kept blinking, which tells you that he was stressed because he was lying. He was lying. That's a sign. According to the FBI handbook anyway, that's what it says right there. I'm just basing it off that.